Welcome, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ange. I am the founder of the Gratitude Project, Gratitude Gang, Health Hub, a whole bunch of things, but no one cares about me right now. We are all here for finance coach extraordinaire, Betsy. Now, I have known Betsy for 31-ish years. Betsy is my beautiful cousin. And we actually had her in the Gratitude Gang a couple of weeks ago speaking about, finance and money mindset and things like that. And we wanted to get her back again because she did such a good job and all the girls were so blown away by her. But tonight she's going to be talking about being financially fit and fabulous. And a little bit of background, obviously, Betsy's going to tell you about her because, I don't know, she was always a smart cousin. It seems like my funny joke, but it's actually really true. She's amazing though. She actually came over to my house and spoke to Adam and I about our finances. We were making a lot of money, but we weren't keeping very much of it. And she's really helped us in so many ways to, first of all, understand our money a whole lot better, understand where we can be healthier when it comes to our financial well-being. And it has taken so much stress for me personally off my life. I know that for so many women, men, couples, human beings, mostly adults, money can be a really massive stressor, especially if you don't know how to use it when you do get it, or if you're not getting enough, or if your expenses are too much. And I think that it's really important that this is an area of our health and well-being that we're constantly working on, because poor money stories and bad money management can lead to absolutely horrendous stresses and health issues, because stress is the number one cause of dis-ease. And if it's financial stress, then you can't afford to get some good medical professionals to help you get past that. Anyway, I'm going to pass it on to Betsy to do her talking, but I just do really quickly want to tell you guys, during this training, you are going to want to take a little screenshot or a photo of the training. We have something we're giving away at the end of the training worth $510 to someone who's on live. So while you're watching, take a screenshot. If you do post it, just tag Betsy and myself. I'll pop our Instagram handles in the chat box for anyone who doesn't know them. And at the end of this, something really cool is going to be gifted to one of you. So, Bets, take it away.
Hi. Thank you for having me back. I'm thrilled to be back amongst the Gratitude Gang. And I'm so excited that so many of us are engaging in our money and in our finances, because I truly believe that financial well-being and prioritizing your financial well-being is a form of self-care. You've got mental well-being, you've got your physical well-being, but it's really hard to maintain those things if your finances are in the shit. So I'm going to go through 5 steps to becoming a little bit financially fit and a touch fabulous tonight. For those that haven't met me, there are so many of you online, and I feel really fortunate to be talking to you tonight. A little bit of a background on me. So I have been in the finance game for over a decade. I started out, actually started out in hotel resort management, thinking I was going to be a fabulous hotelier, but got very quickly poached to finance to form a cohort of bankers that were customer obsessed and trying to change the culture of the bank from the inside out. I was running branches for quite some time, lending money, helping people buy homes, achieve different dreams, and found my way into the world of private banking, which is just the Disneyland of banking. I'm going to put it out there. It's super fun. You're looking after the wealthiest, most influential individuals and helping them make really big decisions in their lives that ultimately help them achieve their goals and live the lives that they love. It was during this time I became a qualified financial advisor, because I just really enjoy helping people understand money, utilize it to create the world, the sort of life and the world that they want to live in. And since then, I've helped start a brand new bank. I was the first employee of Ginger Bank. And today I'm 2 things. I help banks transform through digital innovation. And on the side, I am a financial coach, because I love seeing people engage with their money, because I believe that the money is just a resource. And it's one that if we know how to use, we can help leverage it to create a life that we really love. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now. Now, it's going to be interactive tonight. So if you've got questions, pop them on the chat. If anything doesn't make sense, let me know. But we are here to have some fun because, you know, for far too long, I think they've let the world of money be far too boring. And honestly, I think it's one of the coolest resources in the world. So why shouldn't we enjoy it? So I hope you have fun with me tonight. So as I said, it's all about learning how to be financially fit and a little bit fabulous. I have to do this because the world of finance is highly, highly regulated. So what we're going to go through tonight is, it is not general or personal advice. This is just factual information and intended for educational purposes. So if you pick up something juicy and you're like, I think I want to apply that in my life, absolutely go for it. But before you do, make sure it aligns with your personal goals, your financial situation, and is going to address your needs. And if you're not sure, absolutely seek the advice of a qualified finance professional. Now that's out of the way, a little bit of fun tonight. I want to know how everyone is feeling right now on the scale of Beyonce. And I know there's a few lads on the call, so boys, just bear with me. On the scale of 1 to 4 Beyonce, where are you at? Are you like, oh my God, tears, I'm not coping? Are you like, oh, this time is a little bit awkward right now? Nah. Are you like, I'm cool, I got this? You're like, bitch, I am fabulous, Beyonce. Please pop it on the chat right now. How are you feeling? I'd really, really love to know.
Thank you.
All right, what have we got coming through? Oh, we got lots of threes.
Thank you, Mala.
Good, solid 4. Yes, queen. All right, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. No ones. It's good. No one needs a hug. If you are a 1, we're here for you. Just reach out. We've got a great community. Okay, cool. So what tonight is all about is I'm going to be here to tell you that you have got this. Tonight's tools are going to help you go from just surviving to thriving financially. And we're going to have some fun. All right. So we're going to go through 5 steps of how to become financially fit and a little bit fabulous. And there are no shortcuts. So the first step is you've got to get real with your money. No excuses, ladies and gents. No, I'm bad with money. My partner looks after that. My parents look after that. There's no, I'm going to marry a prince. Meghan Markle did that and she had her own money. So step 1 is get real. And the way that we do this is we start with the own, owe, earn and spend matrix. Now, it looks fancy. It's really bloody simple. We're just putting on paper where you're at financially. And one of the rules of Ladies Finance Club of my financial coaching is that we do not judge ourselves when it comes to our money. If you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, if you're like, oh, I'm just not good at the money thing, you need to first of all forgive yourself and realize that you have all the knowledge, all the smarts within you to absolutely nail this stuff. So, and tonight we're going to give you some great tools. So, own, owe, earn, spend. This is where I start, and this is a tool I use to check in with myself financially all the time. So let's start with the fun stuff, which is you're going to write down everything you own, every little thing, and add up how much it's all worth. So you can include cars, and you can look up the value via redbook.com.au. Property, you can, if you own any property, often there's a valuation calculator on domain.com.au. There's a bunch online. Cash. What cash do you have in the bank? How much is it? Investments, so this could be shares, bonds, other types of investment portfolios. Write them down. What are they worth? Superannuation. Super is one of my favorite things. Now, include the balance of your super fund, because I know we think it's this thing over there that we're never going to see, it's for the future, but it is your money and it's worth quite a bit. So definitely include that. And then finally, include any personal belongings, collections, any kind of thing that is worth money. You can include jewelry, write it all down, add it up. The second thing you're going to do is work out, what are you earning right now? So what are you earning from your job if you are employed? Now, there's two types of way your income is reported on your either your pay slip or your tax return, and this is called gross income, net income. So gross income is the whole amount that you get before you have to pay the tax man. Net income is the bit that actually hits your bank account, and that's after you've paid the tax man. You might also have income from investments. So you might earn rent from an investment property. You might earn dividends, which is a share of profit in any company you own. You might earn interest on cash in the bank or any bond investments that you have. And then thirdly, there's business income. So you've got your side hustles, or if you run a business, you'll have the gross income that business earns minus your expenses, minus tax, and the net amount is what you get to keep. Don't forget to put aside some money from the tax man. How much? This is going to depend on what kind of business structure you've got. Now, we're going to use all this information. So my hot tip for tonight is try and record this information in a consistent frequency. So if you get paid weekly, report everything weekly. If you get paid monthly, report it monthly. If you want an annual figure, that's fine too. You just do you. Okay, so we've done the easy ones. I hate to tell you. Take a sip of wine, have a bite of chocolate. We're gonna get through this. So now we're doing the O section of your matrix. Now, this is money that you owe someone. So you've got your loans, credit cards, buy now, pay later, car leases, investment loans, HEX debts, IOUs, fines if you have any, it happens. Write them all down. So I've included how to report each one of these. So I'm just going to run through a few, but please take a screenshot if that's helpful. So if it's a credit card, you want to report what's the balance, what's the limit, what's the interest owing, and what's my minimum repayment. For something like a car lease, it's the balance, the interest rate, and the repayment. So on and so forth. Now, there's different types of debts in the world, and I just want to take a point to talk about good debt, bad debt. All right, what is the difference? So what's the characteristics of good debt? Because not all debt and borrowing money is not always a bad thing. So good debt is money that you've borrowed to buy something that goes up in value. So typically an asset, think property goes up in value, shares tend to go up in value. And I like to include education, because if you borrow money to educate yourself, I'm hoping by the time you come out of it, you're much more employable, and that's going to equate in you earning more money. Other characteristics of good debt is that they have very low interest rates, typically less than 5%. So anything that's got an interest rate of under 5% and you borrowed the money to buy an asset, good debt, that one's cool. We don't need to panic about it. Bad debt. Oh, bad debt. Okay, what are the characteristics of bad debt? So first of all, it costs you a freaking lot of money. So it's usually above 5%. And you've usually borrowed it for something that you drive, you wore, you drank, you went to, or you ate. Usually it's something that's a consumable good. It doesn't go up in value. You consume it once and then it's worth less money. So if you have any debts related to those things, we're going to mark them as bad debts, and I'm going to walk you through how to get rid of them nice and fast. So that's the third component of our Let's Get Real step 1. The fourth part is, what are you spending your money on? Now, what you're going to have to do, it's a little bit of homework. Again, take a screenshot, make this work for you. Open your bank account, look across 2 to 3 months and see where your money has been going. Now, I have a little resource for you. Let me just chuck the link in the chat. I have made a little budget planner for you on betsywestcott.com. So you're welcome to download that. And if that's helpful, please go ahead and use it. That's not the only budgeting resource that's out there. smartgov.com.au also has a budgeting tool, and they're all there to help you do it. Now, if you're like, girlfriend, I ain't going to fill out a spreadsheet. You've got to be kidding me. That's cool. I'm inherently lazy too. I've got you. So if you're like, I don't want to fill out a spreadsheet, Betsy, that's fine. There are digital applications that will do the heavy lifting for you. My favorite is called Get Foo, F-U, Get Foo. It stands for Future You, but I always think of another word, but that's just me. So getfoo.com.au has an app where you can link your bank accounts and they'll work out your budget for you. Another great Australian company is called getpocketbook.com.au, and they will also do your budgeting for you. So if you listen to step 4 and you're like, that reeks of effort, this one's for you. Okay, so that is step 1. You're getting real with your money. Now, step 2 is reprioritizing your spending. So I get it. Often you hear like money coach, getting good with money, and you're like, she's going to tell me to stop buying lattes, isn't she? No, look, if you love lattes, have the fucking latte. I don't care. If it's important to you, do it. It's all about spending in line with your values, spending on the things that matter to you. So this is where the reprioritizing tool comes in and is super handy. Again, if you check my resources page, I've got a little cheat sheet. I got you. Cheat sheet that's going to help you work through this. So when you're looking at what you're spending on, you've got, you know, your bills, such as rent, utility bills, medical expenses, gym memberships, Netflix, all those things. Look at them and just put a high, medium, and low next to them. That's it. And what you're doing is you're just sort of telling yourself which ones really matter and which ones are kind of like, I could do without. So if something's a high priority spend, it's like essential, not negotiable. So a high priority spend is typically things like paying your mortgage, paying the rent. For me, it's my Glam Corner subscription, and I don't care. I don't care, judge me for it. But it's something that like really brings you joy. It's really important to you that you put that money aside to do that. So I've got friends who love spending on Angie, same, thanks girlfriend. It could be, you know, playing sport. It could be having a membership to your favorite team. It could be, you know, getting your lashes done. That's okay. It's what is important to you, because one thing I always tell you is personal finance is personal. It's going to be different for everyone. So just do what's aligned to you. Okay, medium spends. So this is like spending that's like pretty important, but it's like not essential. So if you really, really had to do out without it, you could, but it's like, I'd prefer to keep this one if I could. And then finally is your low priority spending. So this is stuff that kind of happens. It's kind of impulse. It's not that important to you. These are the ones that you do away with. Now, you've gone through, you've done your high, medium, low. If you are looking for ways to cut back on your spending, if you are looking for ways to, I'm blasting this to my husband so he can hear it. Good girl, Beck, I love it. If you are looking for ways to find extra money so you can invest and start growing your wealth and stop living paycheck to paycheck, step 2 is so important, because it's taking the time to go, what's important to me? Where am I going to prioritize where I'm putting my dollars? And the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is that if you don't make a plan for your money, someone else is going to make it for you. The advertising agency spends millions and billions of dollars on sending us messages telling us that we should be spending our money, keeping up with the Jones or keeping up with the Kardashians. And for the fact that like most of us check our phones somewhere between 50 and 300 times a day, these messages are coming in hot and fast. So this is why it's so important to be really clear around where your spending priorities are to help you nail your finances. Probably 500 times a day. I feel you. Don't look at the data on your phone. It's shocking. But yeah. Okay, we're up to step 3. Now, you probably got a hint about how I feel about high interest debt already when we covered the ONO and spend section. But step 3, pay off high interest debt. I'm deeply, deeply passionate about this. Why? Because this shit is taking you backwards. So when I was working with ultra wealthy clients, super influential, ran big businesses, they would get caught out by this stuff all the time. It is one of the fundamental behaviors that take you from living in scarcity, living paycheck to paycheck, to actually having the wealth to choose how you live your life and to create a life that you feel really excited about, to create freedom in your life. But if you've got high interest debt, it's going to be taking you backwards. So we've talked about good and bad debt. So high interest debt is anything that costs you more than 5% in interest. So if you're looking and you're like, 5%, where is that? Any loan that you have will tell you what the interest rate is. They're legally obliged to tell you. Look at that interest rate per annum. If it's more than 5, it's a high interest debt and you really want to pay it off. So typical things that come up with high interest debt are credit cards, personal loans, buy now, pay later, yeah, zip pay, Afterpay, Klarna, all the pays, and leases. Now, it doesn't include your home lease, but I'm talking like car leases or leases on equipment, things like that. Now, if you're like, I have some high interest debt, it's cool. We got a plan to get rid of it. And I didn't come up with this. I'm going to be honest. This is the Snowball Method by Dave Ramsey. If you want to be a finance geek like me, you can follow him on Instagram and Twitter. Pearls of wisdom, magic. So what he says is, first of all, write down all the money that you owe. List them from the tiniest debt to the biggest debt. Write down what's their minimum repayment and what's the balance owing. So smallest debt, small to large, minimum repayment, balance owing. Step 2, we're going to do some plastic surgery, girls and guys. We're going to cut up our credit cards or freeze them or just hide them from yourself. But please remove the temptation. If you, this happens to me, where your credit card gets saved to your favorite shopping brands. So convenient for spending, really bad if you have a problem with spending. Please unsave that credit card, please. So remove temptation is step number 2. Step 3 is ready, aim, fire. So what you're going to do is you're going to pay off the minimum of every debt you owe, and then you're going to put any spare cash you have and aim it at the tiniest debt. Now you're like, tiniest debt? Shouldn't it be the most expensive debt or the one with the highest interest rate? So theoretically, yes, but we want to create momentum and we want to create repeated feelings of you getting ahead and repeated feelings of you winning so that you keep going and you keep at it until you get to the point where you've paid off all your debt. Because these continual feel-goods will be what drives you along. So focus on the smallest debts, pay that bad boy off, and have a little celebration. And then focus on the next one. And this is where step 4, rinse and repeat, baby, comes in. You've got to keep going until you've paid off all those debts. And after that, you're debt free. Treat yourself, not too crazy, but do something fun to reward yourself for getting debt free. And if you do achieve that, please take a photo, tag me in it. I will be so freaking excited for you and be celebrating with you. So even if I'm your only fan, I'm there. Please let me know how you go. Okay, so this was step 3. Step 4, build up an OMG fund. So this, oh gosh, this one drives me crazy. Do you know that 1 in 3 Australians cannot find $500 in case of emergency? Like 1 in 3, which means we're super financially vulnerable to things like a global pandemic where we can't work for 2 months, or even just smaller things like the car blows up, or you get a big storm come through and you have to fix things on your house. Yes, Angie, OMG fund. So let me just explain what your OMG fund is. Your OMG fund is the ride or die of your finances. It's your ride or die. So basically it's your best friend that gets you out of tight spots. You know how like you've got that one friend in your life who like, you know, no matter what shit goes down, they've got your back? This is the OMG fund, is that friend in your life, but for your finances. So how do we start an OMG fund? We get a fee-free, high-interest savings account, and we put money into it. And if you're just starting out, aim for $1,000 and you'll be well ahead of most of Australia. But keep going once you've got that $1,000. Keep going until you've got about 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. So this is where the spend section of that step 1 comes in, because you'll know how much it costs to be you each month. Multiply that by 3, multiply that by 6, and that is your target balance for your OMG fund. So, got a game for you all. Yes, Natasha, ING account, very good. I think sometimes having an OMG fund separate from your expenses can be a very good idea, and this game might highlight it. So we've got 5 OMG scenarios. Tell me which ones aren't an actual OMG account moment. So, OMG, my car broke down, I need to pay for expenses. Emily's onto it. OMG, my boss is a creep and I really need to change jobs soon. OMG, those shoes are so me. OMG, my parents are sick and and they need me. Or OMG, shots on me at 3 a.m. Which ones? Okay, shoes, shots. You guys are too clever. Yes. So, car broke down, great OMG moment. My boss is a creep and I need a new job. Also, great OMG moment. Have used that personally once before. My parents are sick and I need to look after them. Also, great OMG moment. These shoes are so me, shots on me, not an OMG moment, guys and girls. So, but you knew that. You were, Angie, OMG, I was thinking. All right, we're up to step 5. So, diversify your income sources. This is the juicy one. So I am going to let you in on a little secret about how the ultra rich get rich and stay rich. And people think it's these like convoluted schemes and things like that. No, money's simple. Money is so simple. If like a blonde-haired gal like me can make sense of money, all of you can. If you got through grade 5 math, you can make sense of money. The reason why the society thinks it's so complicated is because it suits a lot of people to be deemed complicated because it helps them make money, and that's how financial services run. But actually, the steps and behaviors to get wealthy are super simple. And this one is the ultimate one. And I keep it at number 5 because you can't do this until you've done steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? So if you haven't done step 1, 2, 3, or 4, don't even think you can go past go and go to number 5. Do steps 1, 2, 3, and 4 first, and then you may do step number 5. So the heading for step number 5 is diversify your income. So there are 7 sources of income, and every wealthy person that I've worked with will have 5 to 6 to 7 sources of income. So I'm just going to break down what the 7 types are so that we understand them and we know what we're aiming for. So the first one is earned income. This is money from your job. So this is where you exchange your time for money. So I have a job, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. I do it. I exchange my time for money. The second one is profit income. Now, this is money that you make by selling something for more than the cost to buy it, or the cost to make it, or the cost to do it. So if you're running a business and you're selling iPhones or makeup or maybe financial coaching services or whatever, and you are selling it for more than what it costs to do, then that's your profit income. So this is business. Now, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are the ones that will set you free, because these are incomes that once they get going become passive. You don't really need to do much to make them happen. And these are the ones that really create freedom in your life. So we've got interest income. This is money that you earn by lending your money out. So if you have money sitting in the bank is lending that money out and they pay you interest for that money. There's another type of financial instrument called bonds, where you lend your money to governments or financial institutions. They will pay you interest on that money. This is interest income earned. The fourth one is dividend income. Like, what's a dividend? So basically, when a company makes money, all the people who own that company get a share of the profit. The profit gets divided up, dividend, and it gets paid out to shareholders. So if you own shares in a company and that company makes money, you get a share of it, that's your dividend income. Rental income, you guys will probably know and understand, but it's when you own a property and someone occupies it, they'll pay you rent as an income for that occupation. 6 and 7, we're almost there. So 6 is capital gain. So it's when you buy something for $5 and you sell it for 10, that's a capital gain. You've made money during the time that you've held it. So similar to profit income, but different in that it's talking about holding assets. So things like property, shares, all sorts of things like that. There's a bunch of them out there, but let's look at those two. So you buy it for an X and you sell it for X plus Y, and that's your capital gains income. And then finally, royalty income. And this one's the one that makes you ultra rich. So if you can do this one, you're laughing. And this is where you make income from letting people use your products, processes, and ideas. So classic example, F45. A gentleman started a brand called F45 where he had a training routine. He then franchised it and sold it to lots of different people. And now there's F45 brands everywhere, and that guy is doing very well. So royalty income. These are your 7 types of income. So Warren Buffett says, if you don't find a way to make money in your sleep, you will work until you die. So we've got 7 types of income. Most of us earn either 1 or 2. The goal is to go to 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And that is how you set yourself free financially. So getting bang for your buck after tonight's session. You're going to, 1, get real with your money. I've sent you the link to my website where you can use my cheat sheet to help you do that, as well as reprioritize your spending. So you don't have to cut back on stuff that you love. Just get really clear about what's important to you and what's not. And remember, you're being marketed to all the time. So if you don't have a plan for your money, someone else will have a plan for you to spend your money. 3, pay off that high interest debt. 4, start that OMG fund. And if you've done those 4, then you can move on to number 5, diversifying your income. Now, one thing I'll say is that I haven't gone into too much detail about all the stuff tonight. And actually, before I move on to that, I just want to use a little quote from Professor Scott Galloway, who's a bit of a fan of mine. If anyone loves tech like I do, Recode Decode, I'm probably geeking out right now. But Recode Decode is a really cool podcast all about Silicon Valley and where all the latest companies are coming from. If you're nerdy like me, you'll love it. Anyway, he said it would be shame to waste a good crisis. Now, what I haven't done tonight is I haven't gone through ways to get supporting payments because of coronavirus. If you're someone whose income's been impacted, the business has been impacted by coronavirus, reach out to me on Insta. I'll send you all the links and have the chat to you about where you can get support. But what I want to say is that actually a crisis like this is an opportunity to get really clear about your money. There's no better time to do your budget than when there's financial uncertainty. There's no better time to build up your cash supply. Why? Because when there's a financial crisis, things of value go down. It's effectively like a sale on really valuable assets. So if you have money in the bank, when this thing turns around and all the items are on sale, property, shares, businesses, you will have the cash to buy a bargain, and that's how you're going to create wealth long term. So don't waste a good crisis. Get your budget sorted, get cash in the bank, and be ready for when the cycle turns around. Okay, so I was saying a little bit earlier, I haven't gone into super detail today because it is a 1-hour webinar. if you heard this and you're like, damn, I need to get my money game sorted, I want to learn about this shit, I really want to create freedom for myself, then you're most welcome to join my Money Makeover Bootcamp. It's kicking off in 2 weeks' time, and I cover all of this in much more detail, and I give you super practical tools to create the financial well-being you need. What do we cover? Money mindset, because how you think and feel about money drives 2/3 of your money outcomes. I then go into cash flow, how to manage your cash flow. So we do a little bit of that own, spend, prioritizing, but we take it a bit further with tools to manage your money in minutes. I then go into money grow. How do you actually start investing? Where does one begin? How much do you need to get started? All that kind of stuff. Money free, I take you through and explain what superannuation is and how to make the most out of it. It's one of the most best tax dodges that you can do legally, and it is there to fund your giant holiday at the end of your life, also known as retirement. I love super, it's amazing. I'll share with you how to save a home deposit, get a loan, and actually buy a property. And finally, I'm going to wrap it all up with how do you create safety for you and your family to make sure that all your money and all your hard work is protected. And I have a discount code for anyone in the Gratitude Gang watching tonight. It's called GG20. If you head to my website, it's 20% off any of my coaching services. But because I released this like 2 weeks ago, it's actually coincidentally expiring tonight. So you do want to jump on that. Lots of ladies have taken it up already. And thank you. I can't wait to work with you. But yeah, GG20 is the code.
So good, girl. Did everyone get a lot of value from that? Oh, wow. No one. Yes. Okay, good. Some people did. So should we share our little, lots of people did. Should we share our little, our giveaway?
I think we should. I'm really excited about it.
Look, I'm not going to pick a winner right now. I'm going to give you all a little bit of time, and I'm going to pick a winner later, just in case people need time. But if you're watching and you're like, wow, this boot camp sounds freaking amazing, and I would love to do that, then we're going to give away someone Betsy's boot camp. So obviously you guys just heard all about what it is. You know that it's worth $510, which is massive. So all you've got to do is, if you took a screenshot tonight, like I told you guys to, or if you haven't, maybe I'll put Betsy back on the screen because she's obviously of the cousins, she's the more popular, the smarter, the prettier. She just wins at everything. No, I'm joking. But we're going to give someone away this. All you need to do is take a photo of Betsy. Betsy, do your geekiest face. Or a screenshot or something like that. Perfect. Nailed it. And post it on Instagram or Facebook if you don't have Instagram, and tag both Betsy and myself. I'll type our names in here. Ms. Betsy Westcott.
Oh yeah, I can reshare my little tags. That's helpful.
Gratitude project. So just tag, there you go. Just tag both of us in a story or a post. Maybe you could pop your favorite bit of information that you learned tonight. Do something, and in the next probably 30 minutes to an hour, I am going to pick one of you and announce you as the winner of this incredible prize. And I want to do it tonight, obviously, because if you don't win and you still want to get on board with the GG discount, then obviously you're going to want to use that soon. But Bets, would it be safe to say if someone picks and they've already purchased, maybe they can...
Yeah, I can refund. I got the
refund. Yeah, so if you're like, I just want to get in and I just want to do it, and then you win, then Bets can refund you. Or if you were feeling really generous, you could gift it to a friend if you won it and you knew that there was someone in your life who really needed something like this as well. So that's all you got to do, guys. I'm so grateful for everyone who jumped on. There were like 80 people. Now that I'm talking, like 4 of you have left. So obviously we're all just here for the better cousin. But this was, yeah, anyone can use the GG20 code tonight. It ends tonight. You guys can see why Betsy is such a gem. She literally did this like mud map for Adam and I of pretty much what you've seen here. And every single month, I know it sounds really weird, and Betsy, you're going to be so proud, but I literally get excited about going through my bank accounts and like writing out where I'm spending money and seeing where I'm saving. And then my most favorite thing to do at the end of every month is whatever I have left over, because my income changes every single month. Whatever I have left over goes into like my OMG fund and my investment deposit fund and my holiday fund gets like divvied out into these different accounts. And it's so fun watching them grow, like so much fun. But prior to that, I was still creating a good income, but I was keeping like none of it. And I would have my car break down, or one time I drove into my garage and I didn't have the money to pay for it. And I was like, how is this happening? Like, I don't know how I don't even have. I was one of those people that didn't have $500 to fix something, but I had really cute clothes. And now I use Glam Corner, and so I don't spend as much money on clothes. So yeah, Betsy is an absolute gem. I highly recommend absolutely everything she does, not just because she's my cousin, but because she's actually good at it. I've got plenty of cousins that do things, and yeah, I think Cassidy was actually on here speaking.
Yeah, I think Cass was on here. Yeah,
which is really cool. It's like a little family affair. Hey, Cassidy. But we are going to go now. I am going to have a look at all your tags, go through them, choose a winner in the next half hour. So make sure that you've done it before then. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Thank you for getting on, and thank you, Betsy, for just being absolutely awesome and epic again. Everyone, go and follow her. Do the course, do all the things.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thanks, Angie.
Bye, guys.